Have you ever noticed that some of the happiest older people seem to care less about certain things? They don't stress over every little detail. They don't try to please everyone, and they certainly don't waste their energy on things that don't add to their happiness. What if I told you that being lazier about these 7 things could actually make you happier as you age? In today's video, we're diving into wisdom from elderly people who have learned the secret to a more fulfilling life. Not by doing more, but by letting go of unnecessary stress. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might realize you've been working too hard at things that don't even matter. Let's get started. 1. Trying to please everyone. When you're younger, there's often a deep desire to make everyone happy. Your family, your friends, your coworkers. You worry about what others think. You overcommit to things just to avoid disappointing people. And sometimes you even put your own happiness on the back burner. But as you get older, you begin to realize a powerful truth. No matter how hard you try, you can never please everyone. And that's okay. One of the biggest joys of aging is the freedom to say no without guilt. Older people who are truly happy understand that their time and energy are precious. They no longer feel the need to explain or justify their decisions to others. Instead of stretching themselves thin, they focus on what truly matters, whether it's spending time with loved ones, enjoying their favorite hobbies, or simply relaxing without pressure. Take Margaret, for example, an 82-year-old woman who used to exhaust herself trying to meet everyone's expectations. She spent years saying yes to every favor, every event, every unnecessary obligation, just to keep others happy. But one day, after feeling completely burned out, she asked herself, "When was the last time I did something just for me?" That's when she decided to stop worrying about what others thought. She started declining invitations she didn't feel like attending, stopped taking on responsibilities that weren't hers, and finally put her own happiness first. And guess what? The world didn't fall apart. The people who truly cared about her understood. And those who didn't? Well, she realized they weren't worth the stress in the first place. The truth is, trying to please everyone is an endless, exhausting cycle. But when you stop prioritizing other people's opinions over your own well-being, life suddenly feels lighter, simpler, and so much happier. 2. Keeping up with every trend. When you're younger, there's a constant pressure to keep up, whether it's the latest fashion, the newest tech gadget, or whatever is trending on social media. There's this idea that staying up to date somehow makes life more exciting or meaningful. But as you age, you start to see the truth. Most trends are temporary, and chasing them doesn't actually bring lasting happiness. Older, wiser people understand that real joy doesn't come from having the latest smartphone or wearing whatever is in style this season. Instead, they embrace simplicity and classic comfort, things that never go out of fashion. They choose clothes that feel good, not because they're trendy, but because they fit their lifestyle. They stick with technology that serves a purpose, rather than constantly upgrading just because a new version is available. And when it comes to social media, they don't feel the need to follow every viral trend. Instead, they focus on real-life connections, meaningful conversations, and experiences that actually enrich their lives. Take George, a 75-year-old retired teacher. In his younger years, he always felt pressured to dress a certain way and keep up with new technology. But one day, He realized that constantly trying to stay in style was draining both his energy and his wallet. So he simplified. He stopped worrying about what was fashionable and started wearing what made him feel good. He got rid of unnecessary gadgets and only kept the ones that truly made life easier. And social media? He only uses it to stay in touch with family, not to compare himself to others or chase trends. The result? Less stress, more peace, and a life focused on what actually matters. At the end of the day, happiness doesn't come from trying to impress others or keeping up with every passing trend. It comes from knowing what truly adds value to your life and letting go of the rest. 3. Obsessing over a spotless home. For much of life, many people feel the pressure to keep their homes spotless, vacuuming every day, wiping down every surface, making sure everything looks perfect. But as you get older, you start to realize something important. A little dust won't kill you, but stressing over it might. The happiest older people understand that a home is meant to be lived in, not treated like a showroom. They no longer waste precious time worrying about every speck of dust or unwashed dish, because they know that life is too short to be spent chasing perfection. Instead, they find a balance between keeping a clean, comfortable home and actually enjoying life. Sure, they still tidy up, but they don't let housework take over their day. They'd rather spend time reading, chatting with friends, or simply sitting outside and soaking up the sunshine. Because at the end of the day, no one looks back on life and wishes they had spent more time scrubbing floors. They cherish the moments they spent doing things that truly mattered. Many older people follow what's known as the 80-20 rule for housework. This means focusing on the 20% of tasks that make 80% of the difference. Things like keeping the kitchen clean, doing laundry, and tidying up the main living spaces. The rest? It can wait. There's no need to deep clean every single day or stress over minor messes. The happiest seniors know that a little imperfection is a sign of a life well lived, and they'd rather enjoy their time than waste it chasing an impossible standard of cleanliness. So if you find yourself obsessing over every dust particle, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this really worth my time? Because the truth is, the people who matter most in your life won't care if your home is spotless. They'll care about the warmth, laughter, and love they feel when they walk through your door. 4. Stressing over what others think of you. When you're younger, it's easy to get caught up in worrying about what people think, how you dress, what you say, even the decisions you make. But as you age, you start to realize a liberating truth. Most people are too busy with their own lives to be judging yours. The happiest older people have learned to let go of this unnecessary stress and embrace who they truly are, without worrying about the opinions of others. With age comes a kind of self-confidence that only experience can bring. Older people know that life isn't about impressing others. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. They don't waste time trying to fit into someone else's expectations. They wear what they like, speak their minds, and do what makes them happy. Instead of trying to blend in, they embrace their uniqueness, knowing that authenticity is far more valuable than approval. Take Helen, a 78-year-old woman who spent decades worrying about what others thought. She used to hesitate before voicing her opinions, dress a certain way to avoid judgment, and constantly second-guess herself. But as she got older, she had a moment of realization. None of it truly mattered. So she stopped holding back. She started wearing bold colors, speaking her truth, and living life exactly the way she wanted, without fear of judgment. And guess what? she's never been happier. There's incredible power in not caring about what others think. It frees you to live life on your own terms, to pursue the things that genuinely bring you joy, and to surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are, not for who they expect you to be. Because in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. 5. Trying to fix every relationship. When you're younger, there's a tendency to believe that every relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or even acquaintances, should be fixed, saved, or maintained no matter what. You spend years trying to mend broken friendships, keep in touch with people who don't put in the same effort, and tolerate toxic behaviors just to avoid conflict. But as you get older, you start to see things differently. Not every relationship is meant to last, and that's okay. The happiest older people have learned the power of letting go of toxic relationships. They no longer waste energy on people who bring them down, constantly criticize them, or drain their happiness. Instead of clinging to relationships out of obligation or guilt, they focus on the ones that bring them peace, joy, and mutual respect. They understand that walking away from toxic people isn't selfish. It's an act of self-care. Take Robert, a 76-year-old man who spent years trying to repair his strained relationship with an old friend. No matter how much effort he put in, the friendship always felt one-sided, full of negativity and unspoken resentment. One day he asked himself, "Why am I holding on to something that only brings me stress?" That's when he decided to stop trying. He didn't end things with anger. He simply stepped back, stopped forcing the connection, and let life take its course. And the result? A sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. At a certain point, you realize that choosing peace is more important than maintaining unnecessary drama. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to keep people in your life if they no longer contribute to your happiness. And when you finally let go of relationships that no longer serve you, you make space for the ones that truly do. 6. Worrying about money. Excessively. Money is one of those things that can consume your thoughts when you're younger. Always striving for more, saving aggressively, and stressing over financial security. But as you grow older, you start to realize that true happiness doesn't come from chasing more. It comes from having enough. The wisest seniors don't waste their energy obsessing over every dollar or constantly wishing they had more. Instead, they focus on what truly matters, having enough to live comfortably and enjoy life's simple pleasures. The happiest older people understand that once your basic needs are met, extra wealth doesn't necessarily mean extra happiness. They no longer feel the pressure to accumulate more, upgrade their lifestyle, or compare their financial situation to others. Instead of worrying about expensive luxuries, they find joy in the little things: a morning cup of coffee, a walk in the park, laughter with loved ones, or the peace of a quiet afternoon. They know that these moments bring far more fulfillment than any material possession ever could. Take Margaret, an 82-year-old woman who spent much of her life worrying about money, always saving, always budgeting, always feeling like she never had enough. But one day, she had a realization. Her needs were met. She had a roof over her head, food on the table, and time to enjoy life. So, she stopped stressing over every little expense and started focusing on appreciating what she already had. She now spends her days enjoying nature, reading books, and having deep conversations with friends, things that cost little to nothing but bring her immense joy. The secret to contentment isn't having endless wealth, it's knowing when you have enough. When you stop worrying about money excessively, you free yourself to actually live, to appreciate the beauty of everyday moments, and to focus on what truly makes life meaningful. 7. Rushing through life. For much of life, people are always in a hurry, rushing to work, rushing to complete tasks, rushing to get to the next big milestone. But as you grow older, you begin to see that life isn't a race. The happiest seniors have discovered the beauty of slowing down, embracing the present moment, and savoring life as it comes. They no longer feel the need to be constantly busy or productive. Instead, they take their time, appreciating the little joys that younger people often overlook. Older people know that experiences matter more than a packed schedule. They would rather sit on the porch and watch the sunset than rush through errands. They would rather enjoy a slow meal with family than eat in a hurry just to move on to the next task. They prioritize meaningful conversations over checking off a to-do list. In their wisdom, they've realized that the most precious moments in life aren't the ones spent being busy, they're the ones spent being present. Take George, a 79-year-old man who used to be a workaholic. He spent decades chasing deadlines, filling his days with tasks, and believing that success meant always being on the go. But in retirement, he had a revelation. He had spent so much time rushing that he had missed out on the simple joys of life. Now, he moves at his own pace. He enjoys his morning coffee without distractions, takes long walks just to appreciate nature, and listens, really listens, when people talk to him. He no longer rushes through life. He actually lives it. Slowing down doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing things fully. It means appreciating the laughter of a grandchild, the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the feeling of peace in a quiet afternoon. The happiest older people know that life isn't about how much you can accomplish in a day. It's about how much of the day you can truly experience. Conclusion. As you age, you realize that happiness isn't about doing more. It's about doing less of the things that drain you and more of the things that truly matter. The wisest older people have learned to let go of unnecessary stress, embrace simplicity, and focus on what brings them joy. By being a little lazier about these 7 things, you might just find yourself living a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Now, I want to hear from you. If you agree with this advice, comment 9 below. But if you think staying busy is still the way to go, drop a 0 instead. I'd love to see what you all think. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our future videos. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.